so grateful to be here. My brother and I invited in the place where our teacher was invited to come as a special guest in 2013, I believe. And we have been greeted here in Korea with so much love and care. I see mindfulness is already a part of the Korean culture, especially the willingness to take care of others. And as we know, in order to take care of others, we need to take care of ourselves first. So if our mind is not calm, if we are anxious, we are worried, then we cannot take care of others. Our anxiety and our worry will go into the other person, into our children, into our partner. So actually taking care of ourselves is taking care of the other person. So we'll start with listening to a sound of the bell. My brother will invite the bell, and I'd like all of us just to come back to our body, come back to our breathing, so that we can generate the energy of mindfulness. So everywhere we go, we have our breath. You might not have a sitting meditation cushion, you might not have the Dhamma hall, but you always have your breath wherever you go. And one of the Sunim in Jogye Oda, he sent me a video yesterday. It said, Koreans never wait. Always doing something.
항상 뭔가를 하고
walking.
있죠. 예.
And the good thing about the breath is that you don't have to wait for your breath. Your breath is always there. So whether you are standing in line or in Seoul we had to wait for the crosswalk to walk across the street. And our tendency is to take out our phone when we're standing, and so we don't want to wait. We just look at and if we have any messages on our phone. I look around so I see what everyone is doing. So the bell, we will practice now to come back to our breath, and I invite you, whenever you are looking for something to do, bring your attention to your breathing. So in all of our Plumvillage centers, we have a bell. We have the bell in the hall, we have a bell outside in the dining hall, we have the clock on the wall, which makes a sound every 15 minutes. And every time we hear the sound of the bell, we stop what we're doing and we look deeply inside. So we have a kind of inner eye, an awareness of what's going on inside. Nowadays we have a lot of entertainment. We have movies and advertisements and video games. And so our external eye is very distracted. So our external eye gets a lot of use, but the internal eye is not used very much. It's very weak. And so we don't recognize our anger, our sadness, our jealousy. And because we don't recognize it, then we do things and we say things that hurt other people and hurt ourselves. So it's good. Koreans never wait. You don't have to wait to follow your breathing, to be aware of your breath. Any moment you can come back to your breathing, and the bell is reminding us to come back to our breath. So we can sit beautifully and relax our body. And just as we listen to 3 sounds of the bell, I invite you to bring all of your attention to the sensation of your breath as it comes in and goes out. When you notice your mind going off, just come back to the breath, the sensation of the breath. we can open our eyes. So today is Sunday, the 29th of September in 2024. And we're at Woljeongsa Temple. And we're so grateful for the Venerable Abbot, Venerable Chung for inviting us to be here today. We were just sitting with the Venerable Abbot in his quarters, and right away when I came in, I feel a deep energy of peace and love. And as we walked around the temple, we saw that this is a very precious place. The trees, the nature, the mountain is creating a place of refuge for us all to go deeply in ourselves. And the Venerable Abbot told us that when our teacher had come here, he told him to take good care of this place. It will be an important place of practice. And that is so important, that the temple is a place of practice, not just a place of devotion or worship. In Korea, you are blessed with so many beautiful temples in natural mountain spaces. But it's not enough to have a beautiful temple. The temple is beautiful because of your practice of mindfulness. So the question is, how do you take care of the temple with your practice? It's wonderful to light incense and to bow 108 times. But if we only do that in the form and our heart is not there, then it doesn't have a meaning. So our teacher gave us one little card, like a business card. And because I noticed that when I went to the Choge order, many of the monks, they have business cards. But on that business card, it didn't have our name or our phone number. On that card, it only had the number 100%. And I remember when I was a young monk, we had a monastic retreat, and our teacher went and he gave that card to every monk and every nun. If I knew how to go to the print shop in Korea, I would print one for every one of you. Because every time I looked at that card, I remember to practice 100% with all my heart. And sometimes I notice that I'm doing something, but I'm thinking about something else already. Maybe I'm eating breakfast, but I'm not there with my breakfast. I'm thinking about going to Woljeongsa Temple. This morning we stopped on the road to have udon for breakfast, udon noodles for breakfast. Our tour guide, Carol, she went in and she pressed the button, and then 1 minute later we had hot udon soup. 1 minute. Like I said, Koreans never wait. How can I have such wonderful soup in 1 minute? And the soup was so delicious. I really enjoy the food in Korea. It's like food in Korea is like a medicine. But when I'm eating my udon soup, if I'm not really there 100%, if I'm thinking about, what will I talk about in the Dhamma talk today, then what is the use of eating my soup? So I practice to be 100% there for eating the soup. I don't think about anything else. Only the soup and the sensation of eating it coming into my body. It's the same thing with giving a Dhamma talk. Maybe one day you will sit here and you give a Dhamma talk. But if you're here giving the talk and you think about what will I be eating for lunch, then what is the use of giving the Dhamma talk? So we have to be truly present with our body and mind together. So I carry that card 100% around, and when I take it out of my pocket, it doesn't have a phone number, it doesn't have a name, but I know what to do. To come back to my body, come back to my breath. So I will be honest with you, my nature, I'm raised in the United States of America, and my father likes to plan everything. Plan the future. So he was very poor when he was a child. My grandfather had a business to sell boats. Boats for fishing and for on the lake. And my father, he grew up on the second floor of the shop, right above the shop where they sold the boats. And every year they had to, they didn't know if they had enough money to buy food for the whole year. And so as a young man, he was determined that he would make money, so he would not have to live like that and have his children live like he did. So then he got the top of his class at the university in chemistry, and then he went to Harvard to get his business degree. So he planned out his life, and he wanted to be the best, to compete, so that he could have enough money to live his life and do the things he wanted to do. And for most of us, that sounds like a very good idea. He's very smart, right? But he also had difficulty because of this planning mind, always planning for the future. Yeah. And eventually, his marriage with my mother, it could not continue. And he became very angry because that was not part of the plan. Yeah. So there was a big suffering inside of him. And when I grew up, I had many good conditions because of my father's planning. And I think you have that situation in Korea where the older generation has worked very hard to create good conditions for the young ones. And the young people, are they very grateful? Yeah? That is a question. Okay, who raise your hand, who thinks they are grateful? Oh, many, okay. Who thinks they are not grateful? Whoa, you're very polite. No one wants to raise their hand. So sometimes I didn't realize all the good conditions that I had, that my parents created for me. But I'm very grateful because thanks to my parents' hard work and love, and I could become a Buddhist monk. So I had a different kind of aspiration from my father. I grew up with enough food to eat, and if I needed money for something, I could always, get that thing. But what I didn't have is a spiritual path. So how do I take care of my mind? How do I bring my body and mind together? And so I also went to university and I studied very hard, but I didn't find the answer I was looking for. And so I traveled in the world, and I tried living in different communities to try to find what will I do with my life. Who am I? And then I had a depression because I saw that my generation, they are getting many material things, the family and good job, a lot of money. Yeah. But I didn't want those things. I wanted to live a simple life and be free and happy. So in that moment, I'm very grateful that I discovered Zen, Zen meditation, because I could touch joy. The joy to be alive. We're this wonder. We have this body, and do we really realize the wonder it is to be alive? Actually, in this body is every part of the universe. Our bones, our flesh is made of stardust. Yeah, we forget that everything on this planet Earth is the product of ancient stars that have exploded, supernova. And so because we are just caught and we suffer with our daily suffering, our daily concern, our worry, our anxiety, we forget that we are made of stars. And the Buddha was not doing something very complicated. He just wanted everyone to come out of their house and realize that they are the wonder of being alive, that they are made of stars, that we are all flowers in the garden of humanity. So when I look out at all of you, I see so many beautiful flowers, especially when you smile. You know, in the Plumvillage tradition, we have smiling meditation. Because sometimes in the tradition of Buddhist meditation, we look very serious. Almost the monks are kind of scary. We are afraid the monk will yell at us and we will get like a bolt of lightning, enlightenment. So our teacher 틱낫한 trained us to practice smiling meditation, so we don't scare people. We called it smiling yoga. So usually we think that the mind is leading the body, but we learn that the body can also lead the mind. So when we train ourselves to smile, we actually feel happier. Usually we think it the other way. We think, I have to be happy before I can smile. But you might wait your whole life and not be able to ever smile. So we train ourselves to smile, and then our mind changes. We relax our whole face. When you smile, you have hundreds of muscles on your face, and you relax all those muscles. So you can try during today. People might think you're crazy. Why is she smiling so much? It's okay, don't worry. I don't mind anymore. People sometimes they tell me, oh, you smile too much. I said, no, it's okay, I don't mind. I'm happy. So smiling meditation is a way to relax your body. And so sometimes when I notice that I'm rushing or I'm in a hurry, and I come to the edge of the road and I see it's a red light, I cannot cross. If I just think, oh, I'm late to get to my appointment, then I suffer. So instead I can look at the red light and smile and say, thank you for inviting me to come back to my breathing. You don't have to wait. Right then, right there, you come back to your breathing. You are active. You don't wait anymore. You're practicing city meditation. City, like meditation in the city. Imagine if everyone in Seoul is standing on the side of the road, looking at the red light, enjoying their breathing and smiling. Do you want to live in that kind of city? It's a wonderful city. Yeah. Actually, in that kind of city, you don't need to buy anything. Yesterday we went to the bread shop because we are from the West, so we like to eat bread. We also love Korean food, but sometimes we want to have some bread. We went to the bread shop near our hotel, and we went outside. We went to walk in, and the woman stopped us, and she said, "You can go in 20 minutes." I thought she was joking. I said, "Really? To go to the bread shop, I have to wait for 20 minutes?" Yeah, it's very interesting. I think I never experienced that before, but I guess it's very popular now. So imagine that whenever anyone tells you to wait, when you go to the doctor and you have to sit before the doctor comes out, what if you make that time your time for meditation? This is wonderful. I have this moment to enjoy my breathing. Actually, my brother and I, we didn't stay there to wait for the bread. Maybe because we were self-conscious, we thought we are like monks standing outside a bread shop. But if we practice better, we can just stand there and just enjoy our breathing during those 20 minutes. So these are ways in which we can make good use of our daily life to bring mindfulness. So we don't have to wait to come into the meditation hall. We don't have to wait until we go practice temple stay. We don't have to wait and hope that in next lifetime or many lifetimes we'll become a monk or a nun. So the Buddha was not inviting us to wait. He was inviting us to wake up right here and right now. And that means we are okay if we die tomorrow. One time when I was a young monk, I wrote a letter to my teacher, to Zen Master 틱낫한. And I was in Plum Village, in the upper hamlet where the monks live. And I had been practicing to walk in meditation between two trees. So our teacher gave us a practice. You start at one tree and you practice walking meditation, aware of your breath and aware of your step. And over there's another tree. And when you get to that tree, you die. After you get to that tree, you have no more life. There is no future for you. How will you walk knowing that you have no more life? Will you rush to get to that tree? No, of course not. Nobody wants to die. You enjoy every step. You enjoy the contact your feet make with the earth. Every day when I went on a walk near the monastery, I had 2 trees and I practiced walking like that. And I practiced deeply enough that I sat and I wrote a letter to my teacher and saying, "Hi, I'm very happy to die right now. I feel so happy to be in the Sangha. I feel so happy to be a monk. I don't need anything else." I wrote that letter to my teacher, and then later didn't expect it, but then he read the letter to the community, and my teacher said, "I'm very happy to have a student like that. You understand my teaching." So we can look at the life of Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh from when he was a young man in Vietnam, then during the War of Independence against the French, and then coming to a study in America, and then the war, the United States against the north of Vietnam, and all the work he did to bring peace to the country. And we can think, oh, he's a great Zen master, he planned all of that. And then he came to the West to speak for peace in Vietnam and could not go back to his country. And he felt he didn't know what to do because he could not go back to his own country. And eventually he began to teach meditation to people who came to meet with him. He didn't come to France to teach meditation. He came to the United States, to Europe, to try to stop the war in his country. And then he opened the meditation center, Plumvillage, in France. So we can look at all of our Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh's life and think, he's a Zen master. He knew everything. He planned his life. He planned to do all of those things. But that's a wrong understanding. He's practicing in every moment to be as present and as mindful as possible. He doesn't know what will happen in the future. He learned to adapt to every situation, including not being able to go back to his country, having to, speak in English, teach meditation to Westerners. He didn't have that plan, but he learned that what he can offer can help the world. So also, for me, I didn't plan to become a monk. I had the good fortune to go to an Ivy League university in the United States, very prestigious, but they didn't have a career option to become a monk. Now my brother and I and many of the monks and nuns, we go back to that college. It's called Dartmouth College, and we teach meditation to the students every year. Many of them, they become doctors and lawyers, or sometimes politicians or business leaders. I think I'm the only one to become a monk. So it's not part of my plan to become a monk. But I changed my life. I learned to trust the Dharma.
근데
All
저는
my 100% of my trust in the Dharma. And I don't need to trust in anything else. Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. So that 100%, do we 100% trust the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha? It means we let go of all of our other expectations for our life. Because our expectations for our life become the expectations of our children's lives. And those things that we couldn't realize, we try to force our children to realize. And they suffer so much. Even they take their own life. Yeah. So we have to be very careful about our expectations, our wish for the future. We wish for happiness in the future, and that wish for happiness is what keeps us from being happy in the present moment. So we have to look and see where we are putting our mind. What is our wish? We have to see where we are directing our mind. What you think about, that becomes your future. What we consume through our eyes, our ears, and so forth. The film, the movies we watch, the music, the advertisements, whatever we give our attention to, that becomes our future. So what the Venerable Abbot here at offers in meditation is giving good nutriment, good nourishment. Just walking around in the city of Seoul, you see so many things to buy, so many things to eat, so many sense pleasures to consume. And now we don't have to go to the city, we just go on the internet, on our phone, and we have things to buy. And if we are not careful, our life is just about consuming. Yeah, even when we are in meditation, we are thinking about the new phone we want to buy, or the new electronic device. So if we're not careful, even when we're sitting in meditation, we are dreaming about things we want to buy, things we want to do, places we want to go to, or our projects. So you're very lucky to have a place of practice like this where we can come and bring our attention to our breathing and to our body and not get caught in those images, those wishes, those expectations for consuming things or buying things or our projects. Yeah. So we have the good conditions here. We have the beautiful nature. We have this beautiful temple. It's a quiet place. There's nothing to buy. No, they're not trying to sell you anything. Maybe when you come to the temple, they have a place you can put your phone. In Plumvillage and in our monasteries, when the young people come to practice, we take their phone away from them. We have a big box and we put the phone in there and we lock it for the whole week. And the young people have to learn how to talk to each other, smile to each other. They remember how to be a human being. So some of the young people, they walk around the monastery, they're like they feel like they are born again because they didn't know how to have a conversation, how to talk with each other. They know how to use a phone, they know how to use a computer, but they don't know how to talk. So a big part of our mindfulness retreats now are just learning to be a real human being. Like just now when we arrived at the monastery, we were greeted by the Venerable. It was so lovely. And we went to sit to have tea with the abbot in his quarters. This is very human. This is what human beings do. And that is the beauty of the Zen tradition you have in Korea. All of these things, they train you how to be a real human being, how to have consideration for others, how to take care of your own mind. So in the world, they think Korea is very successful at business and making technology, very successful at making K-pop and drama, K-drama. And those things are very impressive, but they are not the great jewel that I feel you have here in Korea, which is the jewel of the Dharma, the great jewel of this Zen Seon meditation. And our teacher, when he came to Korea, he was very aware of that deep and powerful tradition of meditation here in Korea. And so we come here by invitation to just, we come from a country where the Dhamma has just recently arrived. We are like little babies in the Dhamma in America. Yeah. And we're learning how to root Buddhism in America. The Dhamma is like a tree and you can transplant it into a new place, but it takes time for the roots to go very deep. So when I accepted the invitation to come to Korea, I do it to deepen the roots of Buddhism in America. So every monk and every nun and every lay practitioner that I meet is nourishing my tree. So I sit here like a teacher, but actually I feel I am a student. I'm a student of the Dhamma, I love the Dhamma, and I deeply want to transform the suffering of the world. And I feel very grateful. My brother and I, we've received so much in this past week since arriving here in Korea. Yeah. My country needs more mindfulness. Yeah. We have a lot of suffering. And when somebody has a lot of suffering and they have a lot of weapons, it's not very safe. Maybe like you have your father or your uncle and he's suffering a lot. And you know how to be kind and help him to take care of his suffering. But if he has a gun, it's very dangerous. So we are all, in those of us who practice the Dharma in the United States of America, we are practicing like that. We deeply want peace in the world, and we know that we have to start by bringing peace to our country. And I feel very grateful for the friendship with Korea, because we are benefiting from the great jewel of Korean culture and meditation. And we have much to learn. We are a very young country. Korea is a very old country. I know sometimes you want to run away from the old country and go to a new country like America, but you have so many beautiful traditions here that we can learn. So yesterday in the ceremony in Seoul, in front of the palace, I sat on stage with next to the high monks. I felt very embarrassed because I am just a young monk. I've only been a monk for 20 years and they are a monk for 40 years, 50 or more years. I know, but I know it's not about me, it's about the Dharma and the beauty of the Dharma going around the world. And actually our teacher trained us like that. When we go to Vietnam, many people want to take pictures with the monk with the white face. But he trained us to just stand there and enjoy our breathing. Because usually we want to run away, we don't want to have the picture. Actually, I don't really like to stand there and have my picture taken like that. But we trained ourselves to do it because we know we can inspire people to practice. And so we come to Korea with that spirit in mind, that we're all brothers and sisters on the path of the Dharma. And we know that it's a beautiful aspiration of the Jogye order to bring meditation out into the world and to share it with people who are suffering. Yeah. And that is also our deep aspiration in Plumvillage. So to finish today, I invite you to reflect on what is your deep aspiration, your deepest wish. Because as we live our life, we start to have many ideas, many projects, much worry and anxiety. And most of us, we forget entirely our deepest wish, our deepest aspiration. Our life becomes directed by other people, by our family, by our job. And so mindfulness, coming back to our breathing, coming back to our body, our mind becomes clear. And we can look deeply within to see what is our deep wish. Don't put that wish off until tomorrow. You realize it right now. Every moment of my life, I'm realizing my deep aspiration to practice the Dhamma, to teach the Dhamma. So if I die tomorrow, it's okay. No problem. Anyway, we cannot keep this body, right? It's impermanent. So we learn to enjoy every moment, enjoy our breathing, enjoy the presence of our fellow practitioners, our spiritual friends. And that is the realization of true love, our deepest aspiration. Yeah, so thank you so much for your listening and your practice. Very grateful to be here.